90-day fiancés Loren and Alexei finally leave America with kids on 4th of July for new home abroad. Loren and Alexei Brovarnik from 90-day fiancé, happily ever after, have at last achieved their dream of returning to their true home with their 3 children. They have built a lovely family with their 3 children, Shai, Asher, and Ariel, in Florida, USA. However, they have longed to live in Israel, close to their Jewish roots. Over the past few years, Loren and Alexei have made every effort to relocate to the Middle Eastern country. They made all the preparations but had to delay their move because of the ongoing Israel-Palestine conflict. Therefore, they purchased a new, bigger home in Florida. Loren and Alexei have continued to travel to Israel to visit their family, but recently, they were able to bring their 3 children along with them. On U.S. Independence Day, Loren shared family pictures at the Ben Gurion International Airport in Israel with Alexei and their 3 children, writing, "No better feeling. Shabbat Shalom from our family to yours." When replying to a fan in the comments, she expressed her emotions, stating, "Ugh, it feels so good to be home." The post included several photos of Loren and her family at the airport, as well as a picture of Alexei and the children walking towards the exit gate, looking happy and content. However, it was supposed to be just another dramatic tell-all for the cast of 90-Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After, but nobody expected the emotional fireworks that came from Loren and Alexei's segment. The two had always seemed like one of the more stable couples on the show. They had 3 beautiful children, a comfortable life in Florida, and a fan base that adored their playful chemistry. But behind the scenes, something deeper was stirring, and Loren was ready to let the world know. Seated on the plush studio couch, Loren's usual bright smile was replaced with a firm expression. Host Sean Robinson glanced between them. "Loren, Alexei, there's been a lot of talk online about some disagreements you two have been having. Would you like to share?" Alexei shifted in his seat, visibly tense. "We're fine. Couples disagree. It's normal," he said, trying to downplay things. But Loren wasn't having it. "No, we're not going to sugarcoat it anymore," Loren said, her voice steady. "I love Alex more than anything, but lately, I've felt like I've had to fight to be heard in my own home." The audience hushed. Alexei turned to her, surprised. "What are you talking about?" "I'm talking about how I've been wanting to go back to work, to find myself again, and you keep pushing back because you think a mother should stay home. You say it's not the way things are done where you're from. But I'm not from there. I'm from here. And I get to choose who I want to be." The studio went silent. Even the producers looked stunned. Alexei looked down. "Loren, it's not that I don't support you. I just worry. We have small kids. It's a lot. I come from a place where the mother stays home. And that's okay. But I come from a place where women can do both," Loren interrupted, eyes glistening. "And I'm tired of compromising my dreams for a tradition I didn't agree to." Fans watching live began posting their support online. "Go Loren" trended within minutes. Sean leaned in. Alexei, hearing that, "What do you want to say?" Alexei took a deep breath. "Maybe I've been too strict about my expectations. Maybe I haven't seen how much this has been hurting you. I do want you to be happy, but change is hard for me. And that's fair," Loren replied gently. "But we either grow together or we grow apart." There was a beat of silence. Then Alexei reached out, taking her hand. "Then let's grow together." The audience clapped, some in tears. That night, Loren's bravery resonated across social media. Women everywhere shared stories of defying outdated roles, inspired by Loren's stand. And as the tell-all wrapped, it was clear that Loren had not only challenged Alexei's traditions, she had helped him begin to rewrite them. However, it was a quiet, sunny morning in Florida when Loren finally felt the moment had come. After months of anticipation, cravings, laughter, and late-night heart-to-hearts with her husband Alexei, her water broke at 3:26 a.m. "Babe, it's happening," she whispered, her voice trembling with emotion and excitement. Alexei jumped up instantly, years of EMT training kicking in, but this time, it wasn't a stranger's emergency. It was their miracle arriving. At 6:43 a.m., after a long but beautiful labor, Loren gave birth to their first son, Shai Brovarnik. The delivery room was filled with joy, tears, and disbelief. Alexei held Loren's hand tightly as he cut the cord, whispering in Hebrew, "You are so strong. He's perfect." Loren could only smile as tears rolled down her cheeks. She looked at Shai and whispered, "You are worth everything." The couple returned home a few days later, overwhelmed with joy and exhaustion. Loren's mother, Marlene, came over with home-cooked meals and enough baby supplies to fill a nursery twice over. Though she had once doubted Alexei's intentions back in their early relationship, she now saw the way he held baby Shai and called him, "my little lion." And her heart melted. "I still can't believe we're parents," Loren would often say, holding her baby close while rocking him gently in the nursery. "I dreamed of this moment, but reality is even better." Alexei, now working part-time at a local medical facility and studying for his U.S. citizenship test, made it a point to take every night shift with the baby. Loren carried him for 9 months. "I can stay awake for a few nights," he joked, though he was constantly yawning. Of course, life wasn't all lullabies and baby giggles. Loren faced postpartum anxiety, something she was open about on her Instagram live sessions. "There were nights I just sat in the bathroom and cried. Not because I wasn't happy, because I was terrified I'd mess up." But with Alexei's love, the support of their family, and the growing 90-day fan community, she slowly found balance again. One touching moment went viral online when Alexei surprised Loren with a scrapbook titled "For Shai, From Israel to You." It was filled with photos of his family back in Israel, letters in Hebrew and English, and even a small kippah knitted by Alexei's mother. One day, when he's older, Alexei said, "We'll take him to my hometown. I want him to know both sides of who he is." What now? Turns into what's next. As Shai grew, so did the couple's ambitions. Loren started working on a children's book called Lullabies from Two Lands, inspired by their multicultural home. Alexei enrolled in a nursing program, and together, they started a parenting podcast that gave honest, humorous, and emotional insights into their journey. One day, sitting on their balcony with baby Shai asleep in a carrier, Loren turned to Alexei and said, "Remember when people said we wouldn't last? That I was crazy for moving so fast." Alexei laughed, kissed her forehead, and said, "They were right. You were crazy, but crazy in love. And look where that got us." And so, Loren and Alexei's story continues, not just as a 90-day fiancé couple, but as parents, partners, and proof that love, when rooted in trust and patience, can create something truly beautiful. However, it was supposed to be the happiest day of their lives. The sun had risen beautifully over the beaches of Fort Lauderdale, casting golden rays on the turquoise water. Loren was already awake at dawn, buzzing with excitement and nerves. She was marrying the love of her life, Alexei, the strong, calm, and incredibly kind Israeli man who had captured her heart during her birthright trip years ago. But no one tells you how unpredictable wedding days can be. The day started smoothly: hair, makeup, bridesmaids, champagne. Everything felt perfect. That is, until Alexei's family arrived at the venue. They had flown in from Israel, exhausted and a little jet-lagged. As they sat down in the family section, Loren's mother, Marlene, whispered something that changed the mood entirely. It wasn't loud, but it was enough for Loren's cousin Michelle to hear and gasp. "Why are they sitting in the front row?" Word traveled fast, and before Loren could even walk down the aisle, Alexei confronted her behind the ceremony arch. "Did your mom just try to move my family to the back?" Loren blinked, stunned. "What are you talking about?" "She told my mother that only immediate family gets front row seats," Alexei said, trying to stay calm but clearly upset. "My entire family flew across the world for this, Loren." "I didn't know," Loren insisted, her hands shaking, bouquet wilting a bit in her grip. "I swear I didn't tell her to do that. You know how my mom can be." Alexei stepped back, running a hand through his hair. "This isn't the first time she's made my family feel unwelcome. I thought we agreed. This wedding is about us, not about making anyone feel less than." Loren's eyes welled with tears. Her voice dropped. So, what? You're mad at me? On our wedding day? I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at this whole thing, he said. This isn't how I imagined today going. For a moment, silence. Just the crashing of waves and distant music. Then Loren took a breath. Do you still want to marry me? Alexei looked into her eyes, his frustration slowly melting. Of course I do. That's never been the question. She grabbed his hand. Then let's go out there and fix this. Together. Before the ceremony resumed, Loren personally walked over to Alexei's parents, apologized for the misunderstanding, and escorted them to the front row. Her mother gave a tight-lipped smile, but Loren didn't care. She had chosen her husband, her future. As she walked down the aisle moments later, tears streamed down her face, not from stress, but from the overwhelming feeling of love and unity. Alexei waited for her with open arms, his eyes soft with forgiveness. Hello, lovely viewers. Welcome to my channel. I am Amelia. Hope your day is so well. If you like the video, don't forget to subscribe the channel.